In this lesson we're going to look at comparing strings in Python. So here we have some strings that have been assigned to variables. So we've got apple assigned to fruit1, pear assigned to fruit2, apple with a capital A assigned to fruit3, and apple once again here assigned to fruit4. So we've got a fruit1 and fruit4 with the same string assigned to that variable. This part here, we're checking whether fruit1 is the same as fruit2. So this operator here checks if the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. It has to be exactly the same for this whole statement here to evaluate to true. If the left hand side is not the same as the right hand side, this whole statement here will evaluate to false, which means this if clause will go down to this statement here, to the else. So if this is false, this clause will go straight down to the else, and this part here will get executed, this statement here. If this is true, this part here, this line of code will get executed here. Notice the indentation here. So this if belongs to this part here, and this else belongs to this part here. So let's run the program and see what happens. So it printed out the names are not the same. So it's printed out this part here. So fruit1 is apple, fruit2 is pear. They're clearly not the same strings. So this is evaluated to false. So it's gone down to the else and printed this line here. Let's keep fruit1 with the apple, and let's change fruit2 to fruit3, so with the capital A there. And let's save that document. Okay, let's clean the output and run it again. The names are not the same. So even though we have fruit1 being apple and fruit3 being apple, it's saying it's executed this line here because this is evaluated to false, because the left hand side is not the same as the right hand side because of this capital A. We have a lowercase a and we have a capital A. That means these two are different strings. Let's change this to fruit4 and save it. Clear the outputs, then run it again. The fruit names are the same. So this time the program has executed this line here. The fruit names are the same. So if the left hand side is the same as the right hand side, that will evaluate the true. So fruit1 is apple, fruit4 is apple, exactly the same. So this is evaluated to true, which means this line of code or this statement will get executed. The fruit names are the same, which has been done here. Let's take a look at the second block of code. So let's just comment out this one here, block comment, and toggle this one here. Save it. Okay, so with characters, each character in the string is represented by a number, the Unicode numbers or ASCII numbers. So here are all the numbers assigned to all the characters. So we've got a capital A with different types of numbers. So the decimal numbers that we use in everyday life are base 10. So the capital A is 65. In the other number systems like octal, which is base 8, or hexadecimal, which is base 16, it's still a number but a different base, or the binary format of the number with ones and zeros. So this ORD or ORD function is internal to Python. It will return the integer representation or the Unicode representation that the computer uses for characters. It will return that number for whatever we supply it in the argument there. So we've supplied the ORD function with the letter A, and a number will get assigned to this variable here. And the same here. So we've assigned D to the ORD function, and it will return a number to the left hand side. That number will get stored in this variable here that we've called Unicode underscore value underscore D. Then we're going to print those two variables and see what the number is. So let's do that. So the first one here has been printed here. So this is the integer value of A, and it's returned the integer value of that A, which is 97. So the computer represents all these characters, letters, as internally as numbers, and here it is 97. We can see that with our table over here. We go to the lowercase a, we have decimal, it's 97, in octal it's 141, in hexadecimal it's 61, and in binary format it's that sequence of ones and zeros. For the D, it's executed this one here on this line here. We can see D here is represented by the computer as the number 100 in decimal. So A is a lower number than D, and that can be used when we're using greater than or less than signs on numbers. So we've assigned A to letter 1, the variable letter 1, and we've assigned D, the character D, to the variable letter 2. And then we're doing our if clause here, if else clause. So if letter 1 is greater than letter 2, this line here will get executed. If this is false here, it'll go down to the else, and this line here will get executed. So we can see here it's printed out letter 1 is less than letter 2. So this side, the left hand side, is it's printed out this line here is less than letter 2 because letter 1 is A, which is 97. Letter 2 is D, which is 100. So this has evaluated to false because letter 1 is actually less than letter 2. It's not greater than letter 2. So this line here has been executed. If we were to change this around and make this 2 and make this 1, then save it, we would need to change this around here, because if this is true, we want this to print out. If it is false, we need this to print out. So we need to change this to 2 and leave that as 1. We'll leave that as 1 there. 1, 2, and 1. So we'll just print that out again. Letter 2 is greater than letter 1. Letter 2 is greater than letter 1. It's printed out this because this is true. Letter 2 is D, which is 100, and that number is greater than letter 1, which is A, which is this one here. So 100 is greater than 97. So this is true, which means this line here is printed out. So that completes the lesson on comparing strings.